have been on many a perilous adventure and stolen many treasures with the captain. It's a dark and stormy night, perfect coverage for pillaging. Let's sail the high seas once more!
Here be another scallywag to join me crew. Step in line and hop to, or I'll cut ye down and swamp the deck with your entrails.
This is Dazzler's Hooligan, and today I have a very, very cool Halloween decoration. And he is one of the most advanced Home Depot props / animatronics that I have ever seen. This is Captain Cuts from the 2024 Halloween season. Let's get right into it. So I have everything laid out on the table, and I'll start from the just typical poles that you have. We have the 2 straight poles and the 2 bent knee poles. Then we have the padding for those poles, and we have the 2 arm pieces. Here is the hip loop, boots. Here's his clothes and his 2 hands, which they do light up, and they do look really good lit up. They almost look enchanted or like cursed almost. Here's a medallion. Here's his little pet bird. I think it's a really cool sculpt. The only negative about this entire prop is this doesn't move. And I think a lot of people were wishing it moved, but you get this gigantic 7-foot tall pirate that moves like a Disney animatronic. So a bird not moving is not the end of the world. Now, speaking of realistic movement, here's the head. It is a silicone-based head. The back is plastic. He has some really cool hair that does have slightly different tones, and there's blacks and there's the whites and there's some gray. Here's his mouth, and it does have servos in it. This whole head has servos in it to move all the little bits. And here's his eyes. You can see one is really cool, and it's like a fake eyeball as a skull. And here's a normal eyeball, which I really like about this prop as well, is the eyes do not light up. I know a lot of props kind of fail because of that. They're trying to recreate a human, but they have the eyes glowing yellow or something, which doesn't really make sense. Here's his hat, and finally his chest piece with this rib cage, like skeletal part to kind of flesh him out. So, without further ado, let's get right into the setup. I have everything laid out on the floor now, so we'll just start assembling him. So, you start off with the 2 straight leg poles, and you put them right here and right here. And you want to snap them each on like that and like that. Let's see, right there. Now you want to put on these 2. Let's see. Just like that. Now you want to put on the 2 boots, and what Home Depot kind of revolutionized is their use of these little pegs at the bottom of all of their props, and they actually provide support. So there's these little holes right here. They don't shift around and move if someone accidentally kicks them or anything like that. They just stay in the place like a normal person's foot would. And I think that is a great thing for all props to have. And they were the first company to actually do that. So next up, here are the leg pieces. And they just slide in partially right here. And then same with the left piece. Let's see, gotta get that all the way down first. Just like that. Next up, we have the pants, which are right under these bits of costume right here. And here they are. And all of his costuming is a really nice material They feel very resilient and they will last you a long time. But unfortunately, he is not waterproof, but that is perfectly fine. I wouldn't put him outside anyways, just because I wouldn't want him to get ruined. Let's see. Just like that. And now for the hips. And the hips go on just like every single prop. They just click on the two, just like that, right on there. And then right on the other side, right here. Let's see. And then you just gotta push them in just a little bit. And then it's in. Next, we just put on the torso piece, and I wanted to pay attention to these little springs here, and they're built in a way that this can actually turn and add a little bit of secondary motion to make it even more realistic than it already is. And it looks great when it's in action. So, next we have this main body piece right here. And it does have this little rod here, and there's a little pin you have to pull right on out, and you can get it out. Let's just have to turn it around and then push up, and then you can put it in right there, but you have to be sure that that ball is facing the right way. And let's see, almost in. There we go. And now we can fully pop this piece on. And then while you're at it, you want to plug in these two wires, the red, black, and white one, right here, and right here, just like so. And then, as you can see, this top body piece will kind of turn like that as it goes up and down. So we can put the shirt on now. And again, the shirt is a really nice, high quality. There's a lot of detail put into it. Like any non-professional or even professional props, you can always touch up the clothing to make it fit your theme better. But for him, he actually has pretty cool clothing to begin with. So I don't even think you really have to do that. But if you really would like to, I bet it would look a lot more realistic. Let's see. And then here we are, just like that. And then you can put his arms on. Right next, we have the two arms, and you just want to slip that right through the sleeves. This is the arm with the parrot, so there is a little hole you have to line up to get it to fit. And the parrot does look really cool on his shoulder. And let's just plug this one right in. And he does kind of tower over people because of his height. And even though he doesn't have a jump scare, he can be pretty intimidating on a haunted house. So if you are thinking about getting an intimidating pirate, I would totally get Captain Cuts right here. Now, let's see. We want to find the hole and line it up right there. And then you can get the second arm and put it right in there. Just like so. And both of these arms do have little connectors that you can plug into, because both the cutlass and the hook have lights in them to make them look, as I said earlier, like almost enchanted or even a little bit cursed. And they do a really good job about all their story, this year at least. In their trailers for all the videos, they had some great storylines. And it kind of explained why these animatronics were trying to scare people and it was actually, in my opinion, very useful to know. Now, here we are with the cutlass, and that goes into this arm right here. Let's just get that all situated. And all of these, you just plug in like so. You can kind of make the cuff look nice, and then you have his hook. And you have the hook right here, and that also plugs in just like that. And you can kind of, this one's a little trickier to make it look real good just because of the size of the cuff, so I typically just put it like that. And now I'll put on the parrot, and for that you kind of have to make this, I know it lined up previously, but it did sink down just a little bit, so you just have to kind of find where that hole is and then put the parrot right on in, just like so. And they did make it tough on purpose so he doesn't come flying out and kind of break or anything. So then here we go for this arm, and you do want to just Velcro these two in the back while you're at it, so you can kind of put the head on nice and easy. And then right after the head, there is the hat, and then you're fully done with this setup. Now, I don't know if he'll hit my chandelier or not, but we will see. And he just barely misses it. Let's see. And then there is this little screw back here that just tightens to make sure the servo doesn't go anywhere. Just like that. And you can kind of spruce up the back of his collar and hide more of his neck, and then put the hair on like this. Now that he's fully set up, I'll go back and kind of spruce up his costume a little bit, plug everything in that I didn't plug in already, and then we'll get right into the demo. So this is what he looks like all set up, and he is really, really cool. He stands 7 feet tall. He has servo eyes that look back and forth, and if you do notice, he does have one fake skull eye. He has 2 eyes that go back and forth at one time, and they blink as well, so you'll have realistic blinking, and these 2 eyes will move. And I'm really, as I said before, really glad they didn't make them light up or something, because unless it's like a possessed skeleton or something, like him, which I have done a video on him before, as I'll put a little card up in the top corner so you can click onto that. But back to him, his eyes do not glow, and I like that because he's meant to be kind of like a normal person, and it's much more realistic this way. He has 2 different arm movements. One goes up and one kind of they both move individually, and it's really cool. It adds to the effect that he's an actual real person, as I keep saying. He has 5 different phrases. His costume is a really good quality for a consumer grade prop. But as I said earlier, you can touch it up if you'd like. It would look a lot better if people touch them up. But for what the price you pay and what you get, this is a very, very good costume. He is perfect to go with the first mate, which, as I said, I did do a video on him. And both the sword and the hook, they light up as they move. And as I said multiple times throughout the video, it almost looks like they're enchanted or a certain type of possessed, or almost like he stole them from somebody and they put a curse on it. And this prop is very close to the Disney quality of animatronics. And from a Home Depot of all places, and I know they have been getting better, but if you ask me, 5 years ago, if Home Depot would make this high quality prop, I would have laughed in your face, because at that time, they still sold primarily Sunstar stuff and kind of low quality stuff like that. But in the past, since COVID time, they've really made so much better props, like 12-foot skeleton, Captain Cuts, First Mate, all of these gigantic and normal size servo props that are highly realistic, and it's amazing. And he does only retail for $249, which is a steal for everything you get. And without further ado, let's get right into the demo.
Here be another scallywag to join me crew. Step in line and hop to, or I'll cut ye down and swab the deck with your entrails. Don't be jumping ship now, landlubber. We be setting sail for distant ports unknown. We're out to find the greatest treasure. I don't care who I have to cut down until it's mine, even if that includes you! Only rum can slake me thirst. So pour me some now before ye join those scurvy dogs in Davy Jones's locker. I'll drink every tavern dry and cut every enemy down till I'm satisfied. If ye ain't partial to honest pillaging, ye pop scoundrel, then ye can walk the plank. But empty your pockets first, as you won't be needing any coin where you're going. Dead men tell no tale. You done found me secret map, and I can't be having that information leaking anywhere. You should have thought about your life before you dared to find me traitor.
This was Zaz Hooligan. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I do hope you enjoy Captain Cuts as much as I do. And if you did enjoy this video, please like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you're feeling like it, share this video because it really helps out the channel. So, this was Zaz Hooligan, and I'll see you in the next video.